Hey everyone, it's Jeremy with BST Sportcards, and we are starting our Breaker Spotlight series this week. So I thought it'd be something different to do for the podcast, the YouTube channel, but every week I'm going to be sort of going through and getting to know some of the breakers out there, right? They're a big part of the hobby, whether people like them or not. And that's how I sort of got back into the hobby is by doing breaks, which was a while back ago, 2017, I think it is. But I thought it'd be neat to sort of have a spotlight on certain breakers and go over how they do things, what sort of sets them apart, stuff like that. Some of the reasons why I'm doing this is because I just think one, it's interesting. Two, I do think it's helped the hobby a ton. And three, I always see people in different groups that I'm in, whether it's Facebook or people on Twitter, asking or saying something about a shady break they've been part of, and just looking for like breakers that are honest, reliable, ship, correctly. Things don't go missing, but if an accident does happen, which they do sometimes, they make it right. So it's staying on the positive side of the breaking and the breaking part of the hobby. And today I'm actually going to kick this series off by talking about the breaker that I used to get back into the hobby in 2017. So, uh, how I found them was actually through eBay. I joined a break in eBay a long time ago. It was, like I said, 2017. I think it was Topps Tier 1, and I got the White Sox. And I didn't get. I don't believe I got I maybe got some hit, like a couple little hits, but nothing huge, right? Um, but that got me addicted. I actually think I got an auto. Um, but I started continuing to break with them, and over the course of me breaking with them since 2017 to currently, today, they have rolled out features and loyalty programs and stuff like that. So I wanted to go ahead and talk about them. It's sportsboxbreaks.com. You can see up on my screen, I'm on their website, what they offer, all their breaks. Um, and with this, their names are Jason and Kevin. Jason is out of Pennsylvania, and Kevin is actually was out of Pennsylvania. He moved to Vegas, and they're a two-man breaking operation that break in right opposite sides of the U.S., which is a little different. But each of them gets their own allocation. Well, not they don't get separate allocations. They get one allocation, and they split them between the um, two areas where they break. Right. So Kevin breaks in Vegas. Obviously, the time difference sort of helps them out there too. I would assume and stuff like that. But um, they're great guys. I've been breaking with them forever. I met up with them at the National last year. I'm going to meet up with them again this year at the National in Atlantic City because we are gambling degenerates as well. So this is in our wheelhouse this year, being in Atlantic City. But I have a series of questions that I'm going to ask all breakers, the same questions, and sort of I'll go through their answers. It's a very short set of questions, but also I'll go through their website and sort of discuss what we talk about in these questions. So the first thing I asked them is, when did you guys get into breaking? And they got into breaking in 2014. So Jason used to, get into breaks, and then they decided to go ahead and apply and get different, distributors and get their allocations, and they broke into breaking in 2014. Um, Jason's been collecting since the 90s, like a lot of us, right? The 90s and everything like that was sort of that boom. Obviously, it's considered the junk wax era because there was so much printed, but there were still a ton of people that are now currently in the hobby or in the hobby because of that boom in the 90s and stuff like that. So he was buying into breaks back, 2012, and then he decided, right, to go out, create sportsboxbreaks.com. I asked them, what product was your first break that you did? And the first break they ever did was 2014 Topps Tier 1. So that was their first ever break, baseball. that they did. So I thought that was pretty interesting because my first break with them was 2017 Topps Tier 1. And then I asked them, where do you, so now we have everything that's going on. Where do you see you guys in 3 years, right? And I think this is going to be the same answer that a lot of breakers are going to give. And it's with Fanatics in the future now, with those licenses and stuff like that, it's hard for anyone to say how that's going to impact how distribution happens and stuff like that. A lot of that stuff's still a gray area. Breakers don't know, things like that. It's not going to go away. I don't think it's going to go away. It's just too big of a part. There's too many big players now that currently do that. However, you know, he said that they're still going to do their best to offer what they offer at the best prices that they can. And I'm going to, I mean, I might sound a little biased in this because they're the ones I started breaking with, but I've broken with other breakers before for, products that maybe they didn't have at the time or something like that, or I didn't get the team that I wanted. But they do have some of the lowest prices. And if once I go through and show you the loyalty program and the discount codes that they throw out all the time, they definitely end up being one of the lowest price breakers comparatively when you go look at other breakers and their prices. He also talked about, he's from Northeast Pennsylvania. So they talked about there's very limited hobby shops out there. So possibly opening up a storefront in the future is, could be in the cards. So it's something that they're considering and stuff like that. So very cool on that front. So one of the big things that I ask him is, what do you think sets you apart from other breakers? And there's 4 key things, and I know this because they do it, and I've seen it because I've been in their breaks, but they say they ship out cards always. It doesn't matter what the break is. It could be, if it's a flawless, obviously they're going to ship out cards, but if they break a case of opening day or something that's insanely base heavy, they're shipping all cards always. Always, always, always. And shipping is included in the price. They have a loyalty program, which obviously has been duplicated and stuff like that. They've had it for a long time. But they don't, they think that nobody can match that their loyalty program that they have for the amount of money that you spend in a month and stuff. The more you spend, the more discount you get. And I'll show you some of that here in a little bit. That's why I have the site up. They also have rebate programs, which is kind of cool. It's almost like a skunk rebate program if you get skunked out of a thing or you buy a bigger team and stuff like that. They have a last spot karma, that's what they call it, rebate and things like that. And also, obviously, their personalities, right? I know them and I've met them in person and stuff like that, but they're just enjoyable to be on the streams with. The chat is always fun and easygoing. There's a core group of us that are always in the chat, and we're always saying probably inappropriate things during the break just to get a reaction out of them and stuff like that. But we try to make it family friendly as much as we can. But Kevin is also in Vegas, so it makes it always fun to mess around in the chat. But it's always fun to talk to them. They'll before the breaks, while in between breaks, while they're cleaning up and stuff like that, they'll play baseball games on online radio and stuff like that. So people that are watching live aren't just like staring at a screen waiting for something to happen. There's also audio of a game going on, being play by play going on. So that's always cool. And then the last question I asked them is, if you could break one product from the current year right now, what would it be? And Jason said this a ton before, but he loves Inception. So it doesn't matter what Inception it is. I think we talked about it in the other stream, the other live session the other day about when Inception was there for football and stuff like that. Now, pretty much Origins is sort of taken that spot, but you never know with how Fanatics is going. Like maybe Inception comes back. You just never know. So those are the questions that I asked. Those are the core questions that I'm always going to ask the breakers that I reach out to for this series. But yeah, let's dive in. So you can see their site. Sort by their breaks. They have, baseball, football. They don't do a ton of hockey and basketball. They have a closest to fill. So if you click this, you'll see what spots are closest to fill. And they also have personals too. So if you go, into Random Team, you can see all the personals that they offer. Same with football. All these personals, a playbook they still have. They have a college football mixer that they're doing, things like that. In basketball, the same deal, right? They have Hoops Elite Basketball Box Wars that they run now too, where two people bust their box and whoever has the best box gets an extra box, things like that, and Onyx Vintage and stuff like that. They have a break schedule that they post that updates constantly when they're breaking. Uh, when the live stream's starting. So their next one's obviously Monday, and what everything that's available to break that day. Obviously, they wait until the break sells out. A lot of people don't understand that. I don't get what's not to understand. A breaker is not going to break something and just eat some of the teams. They're going to wait until it sells out. But newer releases and stuff tend to sell out pretty quick. But what I really wanted to show you was their loyalty program. So this is their loyalty program. And this is the levels that they have, right? So if you sign up for SBB account, you receive emails, and they'll send promotions all the time. I just got an email the other day that said like all baseball breaks because of opening day is 20% off, and that's just available for everyone, just because you've signed up for SBB. But then as you spend, so within a month, if you spend 250 to almost less than $500, you're going to receive 2.5% unlimited use discount for any team style break. So that's automatically deducted from your total anytime you buy anything. You don't have to. There's no promo code. There's nothing like that. It tracks how much you spent, and then it deducts that percentage. Same with All Star, 500 to just under 1,000, you're going to get 5%. 1,000 to just under 1,500, you're going to get 10%. And then their biggest one that they have, their Hall of Famer, is if you spend more than $1,500 a month, which we all know in this hobby, a ton of people do in breaks, some just for one single, team and one single break, you get a 12.5 unlimited use discount code. So if it resets every month. So April 1st, if you buy one team for $1,500, you will get 12.5% off everything you buy, break wise, for the rest of the month, and then it resets that month. So not only do they do that, but once you hit these tiers, they also have a giveaway at the end of the month. And what they do is every tier, those 4 tiers that I just talked about, they random everyone that spent that money for these tiers. So if you spent $1,500 in the month, you're in the random to win $25 credit, $50 credit, $100 credit, and $150 credit. So not only are you getting the 12.5 discount if you spend $1,500 a month, but you're also eligible to win up to, what is that, $325 in store credit. So it's a pretty cool thing that they do. They do it always right at the first of the month for the previous month, right? So March just happened in April when they were live. The first live session in April, they gave away the credit for the March participants and how much they spent. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And then finally, they have something called Go Big Rebate and the last spot Karma Rebate. So Go Big Rebate is pretty much getting skunked, right? If you spend over $100 on any break and you don't receive a hit, which is an auto, relic, encased card, or card 50 or below, you'll automatically receive you'll receive a rebate worth 5% of the purchase price of the team spot, minus any coupon codes or loyalty discounts back in SBB credit. So this is the final purchase price of one spot. Your discount code takes the spot under $100, the purchase will not qualify, right? So after your discount codes and stuff like that, if you spend more than $100 and you don't hit, you'll get 5% of that back, right? So, And all you have to do, and they say it right here, is just shoot them an email saying, hey, this is the break I skunked in. I spent this amount, and they will credit that back to your account so you can spend it later. And then finally, they have a last spot karma giveaway rebate. And what that does is if you are sitting and waiting for a break to fill and those final few spots, are taking forever and stuff like that, if you buy that last team and help close out a break and you don't get anything back in form of any like a hit card, like a relic auto, encased card, or card 50 or below, they're going to ship you a little something back. They're going to give you that same sort of rebate back in the same percentage. So you're going to get 5%, right, back of what you spent on that last team if you don't get hit. Don't get a hit. And the same thing, you just email them, say, hey, I bought the Dodgers as the last team. No one wanted the Dodgers because everyone doesn't like, everyone just despises the Dodgers or the Cubs. And then you get your 5% back. So another cool thing that happens, you just got to let them know within 72 hours of when the break occurred. Send them an email. Hey, I bought this last spot, didn't hit anything, get 5% back. Or, hey, I bought this big team, didn't hit anything, you get 5% back. Plus, if you don't get any hits, they also always ship you something. You get a hobby pack of cards. They'll send you a business card usually that has a QR code that actually has a discount on it, like a 10% discount. So they're never not going to send you anything. One, they always ship base, so odds are, unless you're in like a higher end break, like a flawless or something that doesn't have much base, odds are you're going to hit. Like Inception, baseball 2022 Topps Inception. Sometimes you can skunk in that. It just depends, right? But they'll send that back with a hobby pack of cards and anything else that they send with her, like a business card that has a QR code. So like I said, it's a really cool operation that they get going. I've been breaking with them for a while. They're great guys. If you're looking to get into a new breaker or anything like that, feel free to check them out. We'll go back here and we'll take a look at some of their breaks. They still got Top Series 1 on there. They got Panini Mosaic Fast Break Basketball. Choose Your Team Panini Contenders Football still up. They just got, another sort of allocation. You can see these are breaks 4, 5, 6, and 7. They have a football mixer, elite mixer, select basketball mixer, and box wars, and then personal boxes as well. Leaf metal draft, playbook, all those things you can see. So pretty cool. Give them a look. Give them a chance if you want to, but I've never had any issue ever. I wouldn't be breaking with them still if I ever had an issue. Let's just put it that way. There's so many breakers out there that don't do things the right way that you can easily find a breaker that does do it the right way, right? So I said that's sort of weird, but let me rephrase that. They're one of the good breakers. So if you're running into a breaker that you don't feel is doing things the right way, these guys do it the right way, and give them a shot. And there's tons of other breakers that do it the right way too. And we'll be going over some of those and stuff like that, and some of those other breakers. But I definitely wanted to start with Jason and Kevin and Sportsbox Breaks because, like I said, this is where I started, and this is where I stayed because of one, their prices, their shipping, and their loyalty programs and discounts and these emails that you get. I mean, they do some crazy stuff. If there's stuff that's just out there that they sort of want to get off the shelves because they know new products coming in soon, I've seen stuff go for 40% and stuff like that off. Which I mean, you could see some of these, right? Mosaic Fast Break, 25% off with SBB 25 off. So you can take 25% off any of these teams that are out there, right? The Timberwolves are 349 for a 5 box mosaic fast break. Take 25% off of that, right? You're gonna get, well, let's, I mean, I'll do it right here. So 349 times 0.25, you're getting $87.25 off of that. You're saving $87.25 off that team, just by using this coupon code. So, I mean, you're looking at 349 minus 87.25. That team is now $261.75 with 25% off. And you can hit an Ant-Man. So, that's what I'm talking about with some of the stuff they do. The Hornets are still there at 449. You're going to get even a bigger discount there, of $112.25, right? So, 449 minus 112.25, you're looking at $336.75 for the Charlotte Hornets. It's going to be very hard to find the Hornets available in Mosaic Fast Break for 5 boxes for that price, right? So check them out. I'll link in the video below the website, their email, and everything like that. Sign up for an account, give them a try. But yeah, these are two guys that are doing it correctly. They're not trying to rip people off. This isn't their this isn't also their full-time job. That they do this because they love the hobby as well, and their markups aren't insane because of that. So, and I'm not saying people that do this full-time are scammers, because a lot of them are not, but give them a check. Give them a check out and see if anything catches your eye, and let them know that Jeremy at BST Sportcards sent you over there, and maybe they'll just give me the White Sox and every one of their breaks going forward for a while. So until next time, this has been episode 1 of our series on our Breaker Spotlight. Hopefully you have enjoyed it. Let me know if there's anything else you guys would like me to ask breakers in the future. But I got my core questions that I'm going to be asking, and we'll announce here soon who next week who we're going to be sending these questions to and talking about next week. So until then, have a good weekend, guys. Peace.